this video, I'm going to talk about how to find relevant pieces of information online. It must have happened to you. It has happened to me so many times that I've gone on Google and I've started searching and I know the kind of information that I'm looking for. But I'm bombarded with so much information that I'm tired and exhausted and without the piece of information that I originally wanted. One of the most obvious way is to tweak the phrase that you put online in Google, so you can work on it. Another equally important way is to embrace the smart search options that Google gives. So let's have a look at what they are. The first one, and one of the most important ones when you're looking for data, is that Google allows you to identify the kind of file type that you're looking for when you're searching. So what it basically does is that you can tell Google that Google, I want certain kind of information in this particular file format. So Google is going to look for only that kind of a particular file format and give it out to you. So if you're dealing with data, if you get a file in Excel format or in a spreadsheet format, that is the most important or the most convenient way of going about. Then you can visualize it and you can analyze it later. So what Google allows is that it supports file types of PDF, Excel, XLS, and Word, text, and CSV formats. So how you go about to implement it is that you put the phrase the way you normally do, like let's say PM 2.5 levels of major cities globally. And then at the end of it, you write file type, colon, and the extension that you're looking for. It can be a PDF, it can be XLS. The next option that you have is something called a site. So site, basically what it does is that it tells Google that Google, you search this particular piece of information in this particular site. This is very helpful if you're looking for, let's say, a piece of information that you know the government of India has released on its website, but you're not able to locate it. Then this comes extremely handy. For example, you put downtoearth.org.in. So if you're looking for something to do with environment, and you know Down to Earth reports and is a credible piece of information, is a credible organization in it. So you write that in, let's say PM 2.5 levels of major cities globally, and then you write site downtoearth.org.in. The good thing about the smart searches is that you can combine 2 or 3 different kinds of smart searches to fine tune it. So what I normally do is I use the file type and the site together. For example, recently when I was doing stories on COVID-19, I am aware that WHO comes out with the detailed list of cases and deaths on COVID-19 every day. So I know it comes in an XLS format. And I also know that WHO is an authority on it. So I've used that COVID-19 data along with the file type and the website that I'm looking for. The third one is quote marks. So quote marks is an interesting way of fine-tuning the phrase that you're looking for. So anything, any word, any sentence, any phrase that is kept inside the quote mark is something that the Google would definitely look for. So let's take an example of this. If you search sleep habits of Africa, it gives around 1.76 million results. This I did a couple of months back. Then if you put the entire phrase into quote marks, then Google gives 0 results. So what happens is Google is looking only for sleep habits of Africa. And in this order, it could not find any resource which had written it in this specific order. So the next best thing, or the ideal way of going about is you put sleep and Africa in quote marks. So all the results that is going to come out will definitely have the phrase sleep and Africa. One nice way of going about, or one of the ways that I use it extensively is, so when I have a primary source of information that I have generated already, and I want to compare that piece of information with other places. Let's say I have data on how Delhi or how India is performing on a certain parameter. And I want to compare it with neighboring countries like, let's say, Pakistan, China. So what I'll do is, I'll write that I'm looking for, let's say, COVID-19 response. And I would add China and India in front of it. So what will happen is, the results that I'll get at the end of it will definitely have some sort of mention of both India and China in it. And there's a higher chance, if it is going to be pertaining to COVID-19, there would be something that will help me analyze the two pieces of information about the two countries. The next smart search option that Google offers is plus and minus. So plus is basically, as it is, it makes it explanatory. It allows you to add another piece of phrase to the search phrase that you're looking for. For example, PM 2.5 levels of major cities globally plus Africa. It'll look for global data and it'll look for Africa. Now, if you would have put Africa in double quotes, it would have definitely found Africa in all the search results that it would have come back with. A more important and a more useful way of going about is there are times there are certain websites that you want to avoid or certain sources that you want to avoid. Like I know for a fact there are a lot of news organizations which do not rely on Wikipedia for their information. So you can basically use minus to exclude information from that one website. So site minus site.wikipedia.org basically would mean the search results would not have any information from wikipedia.org. This is another interesting smart search option. This basically separates numbers by two periods without spaces to see results that contain numbers in a range. So basically over here, as you can see, camera with a price point of $50 to $100. So the search result would not have or will normally move cameras that are beyond or below this price range. So this is a nice way of filtering the kind of information that you're looking for. This also works with years and months. So this is the advanced search option of Google, which is there. So there's a settings button on Google's homepage, and over there you'll have the advanced search option. So this has a list of all the phrases that we talked about, or the smart search options that we talked about. You can go through it if you have forgotten some of it. You can go through it if you're looking for more options.